Welcome back. Now we are going to see the rest of the dimensions of karma, which we have missed in the last video. I'm sure you remember we have seen basics, and under basics we have seen importance, approach, and area of influence, and then we have seen the difference between men and women. Now we are going to see the caution. Under caution, we are going to see three things. The first thing is, what will a person face? What will happen to a person if that person's sexual life is not healthy? And the second one is, what will happen if a person has a sexual life? The third thing is, why do people don't have a sexual life properly, right? So what are all the things which creates an aversion towards sex life? So that is what we are going to see in this video. Let's see one by one. The first one, we have 4 reasons to say that absence of stress, sex may lead a person to. The first one is suppression. See, sexual desire is a natural thing. Therefore, every human being will have sexual desire. Therefore, that sexual desire, when it is not quenched, when it is not addressed, then you will create suppression over it. And we are living in a world where we get so many opportunities to get tempted in, WhatsApp, Instagram, people out there, media, whatnot. The entire lifestyle is filled with, sex and violence, without doubt. So therefore, when you don't have a personal sexual happy life, then you will create suppression, and because of all these suppressed thoughts and emotions, you will end up in anger or depression. Why? 2 things. If you are a dynamic person and if you can act freely in your life, then you will get anger on people. And when you can't act, and when you are dependent on someone, or when you are soft person, then you will get into depression, where your anger will be turned into depression, right? So based on this design, if you closely watch, all the people, those who are depressed, and all the people, those who are angry without any reason, I repeat, without any reason, from outside, if you see, their life will be bindas, they'll have a comfortable life, they will have everything they want in their life, but still they will get angry, they will get depressed. And I am not saying for every anger and depression out there, this is the only reason, that is absence of sex. No, but for a good amount, this is the reason. People always don't interconnect the dots. People always think life is, a separate, different worlds. No, it is all interconnected. When you pull one string, the entire gamut is going to react. That is what is, butterfly effect, right? So cleanly, this proves that if a person has a proper healthy sex life, then that person's depression or anger is going to reduce to a large extent. What is the second dimension? Second dimension is distraction. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says Kama and Krodha are the main thing which a person can get distracted with. And even the modern psychologists say the same thing. Sex and violence is the most dangerous, the instinct from within for every human being. If you keenly observe, 50% of the problem comes from desire, kama. And when that karma is not quenched, when that desire of sexual life is not fulfilled, then definitely it will create a distraction, and it will not allow you to focus or work on anything with full potential. It will affect 2 things. One is in the present, the second is the past. What is past? Past is nothing but memory. It will affect your memory in such a way that you can't fully control your memory. You will not know where which file is stored in your memory palace. And the second dimension is concentration, because you can't focus on anything. You may think you are tired. You may think you are having multiple things in your mind to do, but it is not that. It is not that directly the suppression or depression or distraction is because of the sexual life, but it happens as the undercurrent, because of which all these different demons get out of you. Physical illness. Again, you may get a doubt, how can a person get ill if a person doesn't do sex properly? No, I'm not again saying doing sex. It's about not doing sex. People do sex, but it is not about sex. It is about having a healthy sexual life. And what is healthy? That's the game, right? So we need to understand what is a body and what is mind if we need to understand the physical illness part. Why? Because physical body is nothing but a replica or the other side of the coin of mind. So the absence of sexual life completely affects the mind, because of which it also affects the body. So what kind of a disease a person will get? Mostly it will be psychosomatic disease. It can be, migraine. It can be, indigestion. It can be, a breathing problem. It can be, a knee problem or elbow pain or back pain, anything it could be, or even obesity for that matter. But all these things are not from, gene, or not from any lifestyle issues, but because of absence of a healthy sexual life. So it affects the mind, and because of the mind, the body gets into the trouble. That is what is called a psychosomatic disease. What is psycho? Mind. Somatic, body. So the disease in the body originated from the mind. So that is called psychosomatic disease. Fourth one. No doubt, right? We feel happy someday, we feel sad someday without a reason. But when we fall in love with our life partner, when we do a healthy, universal, sex, the very sex will give you so much of control over yourself, so much of contentment. It will completely change your behavior, change your approach, change your lifestyle. It may sound so euphoric, but contemplate on it, right? So let us see what are the other 4 dimensions, or the effects of the positive things of having proper sexual life. The first one is you will have a high bodily energy. What is this physical energy? It's not that you will able to run everywhere, splint. No, that is not the point. But you will have energy. You will have energy to talk, energy to smile, energy to help, energy to work. You will have a special kind of energy around you if you have a proper sexual life. Right? You might have seen people during their initial days of marriage. You will see them more happy, more energetic, right? Why don't they have the same thing after 3 months, after 1 year, after 2 years, after 5 years, after 7 years? People get bored. People think they know. They start doing the same thing again and again. They think that, that's all. I have mastered this. I have done this. I have touched this body, or I know this person. And because of all those stupid prejudice, they think that they know their partner. They think that they are going to again repeat the same sex the same way. What is there in it? And once they get bored with the physical body, once they get bored with sex, their life is dead. Then what does that mean? High energy. If you need to have life, if you need to have energy, then you need to be alive. You need to be creative. You need to be spontaneous. You need to be there every moment in the present. We'll be discussing an action plan, obviously, but try to understand that if a person is having a proper sexual life, then that person's energy level will be more, and that person's tiredness will be very, very, very less. Sometimes you never see him tired or see her tired. But know one thing, all the happy people in the world are not the people those who are having a sexual life happy, right? But there are many other ways to reach there, but here we are speaking in the context of kama. Less conflicts. And here the conflict, what we mean here is about the relationship within the partners, because they own each other. It is not one dominating the other, or one control their emotions for the other. No, it is about a healthy. And when you say you have a healthy sexual life, that means your partner is also having a equal healthy sexual life. only then you can call yourself as a healthy sexual life. So only when you both are having healthy sexual life, this is possible. And when that level you both reach, you will have very, very less conflict. To be frank, you will not even have a conflict. Your conflict will be like a joke for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You will have a fight, and in 5 minutes everything will be normal. Why? Because your personal life is so strong, your foundation is so strong, you both understand each other in a different realm. Therefore there will be very, very less possibility of continuing pain or sadness or conflicts will happen, obviously, but it will happen for a very, very short time. It will happen by misunderstanding, it will happen by mistake, but not basically fundamentally you both are having a conflict. No. And that is why the next level is relaxed and composed, because your entire relationship will be based on these two and not based on doubts and trust issues. The third thing is health. We have already seen, right, psychosomatic disease, and here it will be exactly the other way around. Your mental, emotional stress will be very, very less. Therefore anything happens, it will happen to the physical body because of the worldly materialistic issues, not because of the psychological issues. The fourth one, obviously that you'll be happy. And here the happiness is not about having a happy life like Buddha. No. But here the happiness what we discuss is about the average happiness which a normal married people are having out there. Not that kind of happiness. You will have a better happiness. Your happiness will not be fluctuating because of the issues happening inside the house, because inside the house you will have a beautiful, amazing, happy lifestyle. Now let us see what are the reasons of aversion. The first reason, let's go to the first reason: absence of sexual literacy. This is unfortunate, but this is true. People talk about sex education, but they don't talk about what is sex and how amazing and how elevating sex is. Watching hours of porn will not give you a sexual literacy, or reading more different sex stories will not give you a sexual literacy. Then what is sexual literacy? Sexual literacy origins in love. Sexual literacy origins in having every sexual intercourse with your life partner as the first time when you are doing, having a freshness in every touch, having not getting bored with the same person even after living for 50 years, 60 years, 80 years. There are people, right? So when there are people out there, those who are living with the same person for decades together, but still when they both see each other, they get that vibe, right? That is called sexual literacy. When a person has a bond from inside, when there is a love, and based on that love, when the sex happens, then the sex is going to be very, very mature than googling about the postures and googling about the researching on foreplay keys or G-spot. No, that's not literacy. That's just data. Data can't make you perfect, because every individual is unique. The moment when you impress a person outside the bed, that makes that sexual life beautiful. When you can't make your partner falling for you outside the bedroom, you can't make your partner happier inside the bedroom. So it is not about physical touch, it is not about postures, it is not about whatever you think inside the bedroom, but it is outside the bedroom, whole day, how you live with your partner. That is the secret of sexual literacy. The second thing, financial and other crises. This may sound stupid, but yes, this is also one of the main reasons for not having a sexual life. People, particularly when husbands get into stress, work stress, or wife has some mental conflict with somebody, or for some reason, when there are something which is boggling in your head, definitely that will affect your sexual life and you can't involve yourself fully. Miscommunication. This happens most of the time. To be frank, more than sexual literacy, even people, when they love each other from their heart and they both are made for each other, they don't communicate properly. They don't convey things properly. They always misunderstand people. And because of this miscommunication, their relationship starts, feeling a bitter taste. So communication also damn matters than the love which is inside, which is not visible. We have already discussed in self-exploring mechanism, the communication segment. If you have not watched it, or if you are not very sure about that, get back and again watch it. That communication is one of the very, 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 very important thing, because communication is the only output of a person to convey what that person is thinking inside, right? So communication is also one of the very valid reason for not having a proper healthy sexual life. Masturbation. Okay, let's see the last one too. Porn, right? So let me tell you what is here when I discuss about masturbation. Masturbation is happening because in today's time, when a person gets married, he is almost 15 years or 20 years away from the day of his maturity, physical maturity. A boy or a girl gets matured when they are 13 or 14 or 12, and they get married when they are 35 or 40. And this is too bad. Why? Because the body is ready and there is no possibility, there is no opportunity, there is no activity. Therefore, the body aches for the kick, aches for the sexual energy, and there comes the solution in the name of masturbation. And because of which the mind gets addicted not to the sex but to the masturbation. And so even after 15 years or 18 years or 20 years, when a person get married, even though the sexual life is good initially, because of the addiction, because of the habit, he or she continues the same thing and get into a bigger trap where it affects the very sexual life of the partner or himself or herself. Why? Because they get the same kick in the masturbation. Therefore, why should I do all these things? And therefore, the relationship between these two gets far apart. Very, very dangerous thing when you get into any type of addiction. We have already discussed under the category self-exploring mechanism. After likes and dislikes, we have discussed about habits, hobbies, and addiction. Under the addiction, we have discussed about the action plans. I want you to go there and see what is the solution to come out of any kinds of addiction. And we have also discussed about masturbation there, right? Now, porn is also connected with masturbation, but I'm not here to discuss about that dimension of porn. But what people do is, people always get fantasy thoughts about after marriage sex, because the porn show all exaggerated. And understand one thing: no human being, a healthy normal human being, can have that kind of sexual life what they show in porn movies. All the porn movies are exaggerated. The emotions, the expressions, the orgasm, the time duration, everything is exaggerated. If you watch more porn, then you want to have a porn style sex in your real life, and when you try, you end up badly. Why? Because those things are not real, they are unreal, they are it's an illusion. It's created for making more money. It's all because of drugs and because of so many funny stuffs. So therefore, never ever try to imitate the virtual world into the real world, at least in this context. The action plan, let us do it in the separate video, in the next video. Thank you for watching.